Alright, let's continue from where we left off. So before we continue, taking a look up here in the reference photo, you can see here has a little bit more of a length to the back, so there's a bit more spacing from here to the back, whereas here we have it too short. We just have an edge here, so we want to move this straight edge a little bit forward to about here to create that look over there. So let's select this, press Ctrl and I to invert the selection like that, and then press H to hide them. Now select this one and let's go into edit mode by pressing tab. So before we do anything else, let's dissolve this edge here. So press X and dissolve that edge right now. Now what we're going to do now is to add in a different edge loop, right? So press Ctrl and R right in the middle and move it here a little bit, and we want to make this edge loop pretty straight, like this, very straight. So we're going to press S and then scale in the Y axis and then type in the value 0 to make sure that it is straight up and down, I mean left to right, up and down, and press enter. Now this is going to serve as the flat space up here, the length from here to the end here of that flat space. So we're going to move this back until we think that is enough space. So just move this in the Y axis. So I think we're going to move it about here. Should be good, like that. Once we have that, we are going to select these faces here. We're going to select these faces here, all of these faces. Hold down Alt and select the whole thing, and deselect these ones here, and press X and erase those faces. For now, let's put a subdivision surface. So let's disable subdivision surface, and let's disable the Solidify as well, like that, so that editing can be easy. So we're going to select these faces as well, and then we're going to deselect the faces in the middle here. So press C on your keyboard to bring up the brush tool, and then hold down Shift and left click and hold down your left click. So let me say that again. Press C on your keyboard, hold down Shift, hold down your left click, and then drag over the areas you don't want to select, and deselect them off like that. Like this. Then press X and save faces like that. Once you're done, select these faces here in the middle for each of the spaces we created, like that, and press X and save faces. So now this is what we have. What we're going to do now is to take these vertices here for each of the spacing, and we're going to extrude it up in the Z axis. So press E and then Z, like that. Now select one of these vertices up here, now, and press Shift and S, Shift plus S, and select cursor to selected, like that. Now press A to deselect everything, reselect all of those vertices we extruded up, and then change the pivot point to 3D cursor, and press S and then Z, and then scale it up in the Z axis and press 0 to align it with the 3D cursor, so that it's in alignment with all the vertices here. Now select these two and press F. Select these two and press F. Select these two, F. We're going to do that all the way. So F, 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 and F right here, including this side as well. F, like that. So here's what we're going to do. I think let's dissolve these edges here. So press X and dissolve that edge, and select this one and that one, and press Alt and M and merge it at the last. But then you can see it is very high up, and that ends up creating an angle here, which means these vertices here that form the upper platform, that forms these high platforms we have in the middle here, are lower than the face here. But what we want to achieve is to actually have all of those platforms at the same height as this flat space here. So we're going to fix that right now. So what we're going to do is we can manually select these vertices like this until we have the whole thing selected all the way to the back. Or we can select, I'm going to show you this now, just select the vertex here. Once you have that vertex select, move on to the last end opposite vertex here. Hold down Control and then Shift, and then right click again to select that whole vertices like that. Do the same thing here. Hold down Shift first and then select this vertex. Go over here, and this time hold on Shift and Control again, and select and click and right click on this vertex as well, like that. Do the same thing here. Hold on Shift, select this one. Go over here, hold on Shift and Control, right click. Do the same thing here. Hold on Shift, click on that one. Go over to the last one, hold on Shift and Control, right click, like that. And now we're going to select those in the middle as well, like that. Alright, once you have done that, select this vertex here, press Shift and S, and choose cursor to select it, and then press Ctrl Z until you reselect the initially selected vertices like that. And I'll press S and then Z and then type in 0 to have it aligned with the top like that. So now they are both on the same level, they are on the same platform right now, like that. You know what, let's keep them below, like this. Sorry about that, guys. Let's keep them below like that. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. I just noticed something is that they actually are low like that. Right, they are low, they are not that high. So let's send them low instead. Let's bring them even down much more. So we're going to press G and then Z and then move them down so they are a tiny bump than what they were before, like that. Okay, so once you have that done, let's select this face here, and delete it for now. So delete that face for now and go back into vertex select mode. So what we'll do now is to also select these last vertices over here and delete them as well, like that. Now let's add in that edge loop again over here. So left click, Control and R, left click and then right click, and select these two here and press F to fill that in like that. Let's bring this down a little, or let's just keep it in the middle like that. So what we're going to do next is to click on this vertex here, hold down Control and then click on this one here to select that whole line. Now with the cursor still at where we initially placed it, press E. If your cursor moved from where we intended to place it, just select that vertex again, press Shift and S and choose cursor to select it, and then go back and select that line of vertices again, like that. Press E and then scale it in the Z axis. Once after you press E, press S, then press Z and then type in 0, like that. Now we can take these two here and then press F to fill that in, like that. So once we have that, we're going to take these two here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and press F on that. And we're going to take these two and press F all the way, like that, until it's filled. So now we have that flat spot in there. So let's re-enable Solidify and re-enable subdivision surface. Now you can see clearly we need to add in more edge loops. So get back into edit mode, press Ctrl and R, and let's add the first one here. Press E and then F to align with the right side, and bring it close in like that. Alright, now I'm going to add one more over here as well. So press Ctrl and R, move it in here, left click and then move it up to this point. Press E and then F to align with the top and move it here like that. Alright, with that done, we don't want to move this as it has moved so close in here like that. We don't want that here. So what we're going to do is we're going to deselect all the ones that we want in place here. Let's deselect all of those and leave these ones, these 3 or these 5 here. We're going to slide them back to the middle instead of the edge. So let's press G twice and then let's slide them back to the middle. Alright, to bring back our bevel, let's slide this one as well to the middle like that to fix our bevel like that. So we're going to add one as well at the back. Press E and then F to align with the left side and then left click like that. So now we have achieved what we needed like that. So one more fix, one last fix. Let's select the vertices that form the top of these platforms here, and then let's get to side view like that. Let's get them aligned with the angle again because I think they moved. Change this back, this pivoting point back to boundary box, and move this in a Y axis until it aligns with the angle like that. Now let's take this vertex here. Let's slide it back a little bit like that. Press E and then F to align with this one. And let's slide it back a little bit like that. And then let's deselect it to this point. And then let's slide this feather in to sharpen up those edges like that. So that is good. We're going to keep it that way. Now press Alt H to bring up everything else. And this looks like what we were going for. Nice. So now we're going to take this bottom one here. Let's select this and hide it. So we're going to take this bottom one here, which forms this black area we're seeing here. We're going to take that, and then we're going to add in a Solidify modifier. I think we already have one in, so let's enable that until we have it like that. Let's zoom into a particular point. So select this vertex and press the period key on your numpad so that we can pivot around that area like that. So we want to solidify this enough. Alright, so I think this is enough. Make sure you keep the value of the solidify thickness in your head. So that is 0.015, right? So we're going to apply that solidify right now. So click on apply to apply the solidify. Now, as I was saying, the arrangement of this thing in your modifiers tab is very important. So applying solidify before mirror, because solidify is in the second in the modifiers. Alright, mirror is first, solidify second, subdivision is third. So applying solidify second is definitely might or might not bring some issues to the mesh. Alright, but solidify will definitely bring issues to the mesh considering mirror is first, and I'll show you what issue that is once we apply solidify. So let's apply solidify right now. So you can see Blender says modifier was not first, result may not be as expected. So we applied in we applied in the Solidify, yeah. So what that did was it created extra faces in here, right? So you can see there are extra faces in here, and you can literally select them. Okay, now this is mirroring, so we don't need faces in the middle here, but because we applied Solidify first, it created faces in the middle here, right? Which is not good for our mesh. So we want to delete those faces from the middle so that it can flow through to the other side. So select those faces in the middle right now. All these faces in the middle, just select them all. You can simply do that by enabling vertex mode and then select the whole vertex there, and that selects all of that faces for you. Then press X and choose faces, and now all those faces are gone. There are no more faces there, right? So once you have that, press T and choose smooth shading to smooth out the shading. After that, get down to the corner here. Let's hide this for now. Get down to the corner here, focus on this point again, and then add in a loop cut right through the middle here. Left click and then right click, press X and delete those vertices instantly. Now you're going to hover your mouse over one of the vertices. Now this has been separated into two different objects, alright? So this is the one of the object, and this is the other one, but they are the same object, only in edit mode they are two separate objects. Alright, so select the outer one here, this outer one you're seeing here. Select it by hovering your mouse over one of its vertex and press L on your keyboard to select it like that. Then press X and choose vertices. So we're only going to keep the inner ones, but as you can see we have some normal problems, so let's recalculate the normal right now. So select the whole thing by pressing A and then press Ctrl and N on your keyboard to recalculate the normals like that. So with that done, we are now going to press Alt and H to bring back the rest of the parts like that. And we're going to take this and create this rounded area for it here. So let's hide everything else. With that selected, press Ctrl and I on your keyboard and press H to hide them all, so that we have only this one in view. So get into edit mode, and what we're going to do first is to dissolve these we're going to dissolve these edges here real quick, and we're going to add in a new one, bring it almost to the end and keep it there. And we're going to select this and we're going to delete it like that. Now we're going to add in two more loop cuts. Left click, right click, and what we're going to do this is slide this around until we have this curvature here. So I'm going to take this 4 here, press G twice and then move it here. I'm going to take these 4 as well. We'll deselect this one so we have only 3 left. Press G twice, move this here, deselect this, press G twice, move this here, deselect this, press G twice, and move this here like that. As you can see, we're achieving it now. So I'm going to take that vertex again and then slide it up like that. Right? So you can see it's more rounded now. I want to take this one, press G twice to slide it a little bit to the side, and then press C to stick to that sliding, so that you can slide beyond the initial placement. Okay, what I mean is, if you press G twice now and then try to slide beyond that, it's not going to work. Alright, so first of all, select the direction in which you want to slide beyond like this, and then press C to stick to that direction so you can slide even beyond that.